What's up? How's everybody feeling tonight? This is beautiful hair. I want to thank you all for coming out. My notes are supposed to be pulled up on my phone. Jesus.
Okay. Riley, now you don't have that problem.
Red bar's watching.
How many people cheated on their spouse tonight before coming out? Let me get a raise of hands here. Couple of you. Couple of you. That was a test. Couple fails.
I'm sorry.
My goddamn sister right there. Out the gate. Jesus. That was a test. A lot of you failed. But I'm not going to lie to you. I like toxic couples. They're pretty cool. And there's my mom. Jesus. Oh my God. Can't put it good. I like toxic couples though. I really do. I like to befriend the lady in a toxic couple, whether it's her boyfriend or husband or side piece, whatever it is. I like to give her advice. Usually my advice is pretty negative toward the guy. It involves a lot of you should leave him. You deserve someone who's going to love you, who's going to take care of you, who's going to cherish you, who's going to be there for you. Here's a picture of my dick. You know, that kind of thing. Is it bigger than his? You know, that kind of thing. How many of you saw the last show? Wow, and you came back. That's pretty brave. That's pretty brave, I'm not going to lie to you. The last show was my first time doing comedy. I wish everyone would shut the fuck up. That would be pretty cool. I'm just kidding, you can talk quietly. The last time was my debut. I got drunk, I went on entirely too long, or so I'm told. I don't really know. Terramano. So this time I'm doing it the complete opposite. I want to be a lot shorter. I wrote the show a lot shorter. It just took a little bit longer to get started. I wrote the show a lot shorter. We're going to be out of here quicker, I promise.
Thank God.
That's right.
That's what she said.
Thanks, you've been a great crowd. No, I'm just kidding. You can't get rid of me that fast. I know a lot of you want to. I think I saw one guy in the audience put his head up and get out exhale. He said, fuck, I didn't even want to be here tonight.
Amen.
I wanted to go watch the new Black Panther movie, which I heard is pretty good. But nope, I got to come support this dumbass kid. Sorry again for that, Dad. Hope you're having fun. I thought I did good at the last show, though. I really did. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. One of my buddies did tell me that I didn't involve the women enough. They said I didn't really appeal to women in the show, to which I replied, shocker. It's never really been my thing, you know? Never really been my forte, appealing to women. Only Chase's mom. But then I watched the show back, I did, and I realized that they were right. I didn't really appeal to the women a lot. So, ladies, this first joke is for you. I hope you're ready for it. Ladies, don't you hate it when you're fucking a guy and he comes in like a minute to 2 minutes times tops? If I had a nickel. Give a hand for our ladies. That's it for them. That's the only joke they're going to have tonight, I'm going to be honest with you. They're probably going to check out here soon. I will say this, there's a lot of women here tonight, and I'm glad you all came out. It's pretty rare for me to get a woman to come, so I'm glad that I got you all to come out.
Yeah, dude.
I got my mom, she came out tonight. I will say this though, for the last show, I feel like I was unfairly labeled the drunk guy. What a lot of people don't know is that after the show ended, we have a little after party for the staff, for all the people that were working. We had a little after party. We had some drinks. The drinks were flowing. We had a good time. And there were some people there that got pretty drunk. And they thought that nobody would ever know about it. But good old Donnie here is going to let you know what happened. So I got a quick question. I want to know, would you rather hear the fight story or would you rather hear the dance battle story?
Dance battle.
Okay, it's good they're the same fucking story. My dear friend Chase, who by the way, at the last show, I told everyone Chase has seizures on the regular. He asked me to apologize. He does not have them on the regular. He's completely healthy. He said, man, I haven't got laid since that show because everybody's scared I'm gonna, freak out. So I just want to let you know that Chase is fine. He's completely normal. It was a one-time freak accident. When he told me that, he was like, I haven't got laid since that show. And I said, Chase, how long was it before the show since you got laid? To which he replied, no comment. That's all right. That's fair. My friend Chase, he found himself in a dance battle against a worthy opponent. We had a family friend show up, and he brought a guest with him. He was a nice guest, for the most part. And I thought these two were friends. These two were both completely shirtless. They were in cargo shorts, which is a problem in itself. They were back to back, and they were grinding on each other. And I thought it was choreographed. I ain't gonna lie to you. They were doing pretty good. So imagine my horror when I find out that this dance battle is not just in vain. This dance battle is to win the hand of a fair lady, who just so happened to be my aunt. I want you to imagine my terror when I see one of my closest friends in Chase, shirtless, he's pointing and he's grinding. And he's pointing directly at my aunt. And he's pointing and he's grinding. And he's pointing and he's grinding. And then he does the raindrops. To my aunt. In front of my face. On my birthday. On the complete opposite side, this other guy is also shirtless. And he's also grinding. But there's nobody fucking right here. He's just looking at a blank wall. And he's grinding. Turns out this guy had a fucked up neck. That's what Chase didn't know. This guy's neck was fucked up. So he's grinding. Chase is grinding. They're back to back, right? This guy can only see this much because of his fucked up neck. All he sees is Chase's hair. Chase has long hair. And he's grinding and he's thinking, I'm grinding on a chick. He finally kind of pivots a little bit because his neck's fucked up. And when he sees that it's a grown-ass man that he's barebacking against, he gets pretty pissed off. So he erupts. He goes into battle mode, I guess you would call it. And I've never seen my friend Chase get in a fight in my life. This was the first time for me. And I'll say this. Chase does not follow the Fight School 101 rules. There are a couple of rules when you're fighting, and Chase, I think, broke all of them. He's face-to-face with the guy. They're about me to the stool here. And instead of walking up to him to challenge him, man-to-man, bared up chest, Chase takes 2 steps. Fuck you, you motherfucker! Turns his back to the guy. I'm confused already. That's rule 1, it's broke. He gets low, torques at him. 2 quick ones, turns back. That's what you get. I'm sorry. Chase, I've never seen that. It caught me off guard. But it worked. The guy was pissed. He was stunned. What was that? The guy didn't know what to do. Chase goes in for a little attitude adjustment. If you're a fan of the WWE, there's a wrestler named John Cena. Okay. He does a move that used to be called the FU, now it's called the attitude adjustment. So Chase, he goes, he scoops him up, and my family, we're big wrestling fans. We've been watching WWE forever, right? So we go and break it up. Because at the beginning of every WWE pay-per-view, there is a warning on the TV that says, don't try this at home. And I'll be motherfucked if we let Triple H down. So we broke that shit up. We're not trying that shit. So I want to say today that I was not the drunkest guy at that show, despite what the cameras say, and despite what everybody else may say. I was not the drunkest guy. But something clicked with me when that happened. I don't know if you've ever had like a moment in your life where despair hits you pretty stern in the stomach. But I had that moment that night when I sat there and I looked And I saw my friend grind at my aunt, fight another sweaty man over my aunt, again, at my birthday party, in the same building where our community tractor pool is held. It all clicked what my life is. I sat there and I said, this is white trash heaven. And that makes me white trash Jesus. I should have known I was white trash. My whole life I was poor. If I told you to describe a white trash version of Jesus, you would pretty much describe me to a T. A southern guy, beautiful hair. I don't know why that's funny. A patchy beard. Who listens to Leonard Skinner in the year 2022. See? He gets it. And that's me. All right? I'm white trash Jesus. I was predisposed to be white trash. Look at me. Growing up, we were poor. We didn't have a lot of money. My favorite game growing up was to help Grandma get cigarettes out the yard game. I was pretty fucking good, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was competitive as shit. I used to play with my sister. I'd push her over. I'd cheat. She didn't know this. I'm telling it now. I used to have scissors in my pocket. You cut a cigarette in half, it counts for 2. She didn't know that. I tried to go to school to play it, but the kids at school didn't know the game. I guess it was our household kind of thing. I had to teach them all the rules, and I finally did. I finally explained all the rules. I got to talk to them. The best teacher that school's ever had. And we had a lunch lady named Miss Steele, and she was a smoker. She was a toker. And the school didn't like people to know that she smoked. So I helped her out. I said, Miss Steele, I got a bucket. I'm going to bring it to you. Every day when you smoke, put all your cigarettes in there. Right before recess, I'm going to come pick it up and I'm going to take it with me. She thought I was taking them away. What she didn't know was I was running an underground, help Grandma pick cigarettes up at the yard club. We're still working on the name. I think we ended up sticking with something else, but it don't matter. And then Miss Rhonda, she got fired. Rhonda Steele was her name. She got fired. They found out what she was doing. She was giving cigarettes to the students, and that's not a good look. And the school that we went to was Buford. That's probably not the worst thing teachers were giving the students. Oh, man. Her name was Rhonda, but of course she announced like Rhonda, you know what I mean? Because Rhonda was a smoker. I met Rhonda at a bar the other night. She was outside, she was smoking, go figure. And she was like, hey kid, you remember me? And I was like, no sir, I don't. And she was like, no, you know me, I'm Rhonda. I used to give you the cigarettes. And I was like, oh yeah. Yeah, how are you doing? Since you got fired. She's like, I'm good. Man, you grew up, didn't you? Yeah, yes ma'am. That's what happens. Oh yeah, you grew up real nice. Hey, you remember I used to give you all those cigarettes, right? Yeah, yes ma'am. Yeah. How about you do me a favor now? I immediately don't like where this was going. I was like, well, Miss Rhonda, I'm in a hurry. Miss Rhonda goes, yeah. But I bet you can munch down on this beaver real good, huh? And I go, I'm sorry, Miss Rhonda, is your car named Beaver, or what's happening here? And she was like, my puss. I want you to eat up on the puss. And I was like, yeah, all right, that's fucking enough of that. That's enough of that. So I left that bar, and I will never, ever go back. But a couple of single, lonely men here tonight, Chase. If you're, I'll give you the deets, and you can go munch up on that bush later. Tastes like Newports. And cafeteria pizza. I mean, come on. It's not all those, baby. I should have known we were white trash, so man, I was so good at the game. And then this other kid, Daryl, moved to our town. He moved into my class, and Daryl had both of his parents were smokers. Daryl beat my ass at that game. I was pissed. You ever get mad at your parents for not smoking? It's a really awkward conversation. You're like, hey parents, you should care less about your health. So that happened, and after I lost to Daryl, I pretty much just gave up on that game. Started doing comedy, and thus far has not failed me. Or it has. Thanks for that. My favorite part of a comedy show is that awkward silence right after a joke. Should have known we were white trash by the way that I ate growing up. My favorite foods. I enjoy a good buffet, as you can tell. If your favorite restaurant involves the words all you can eat or buffet in the title, you're probably white trash, just like me. Hey, which is cool, I eat there. I love these places too, right? There it is. This is a white trash cloud, I like it. If you've ever sat and looked at a menu and said, I don't know if I want fried chicken or a piece of pizza. Good thing they got both here at Johnny's Good Eating Buffet. And you're probably white trash, just like him. Johnny's Good Eating Buffet. Of course, it's spelled good, G-U-D. Eaton, E-A-T, apostrophe N. And Johnny is also the local mayor. He does it all, baby. I found myself going to these restaurants though, and I've started to develop a holier than thou mentality at these places. Like I've gotten to where I feel like I'm better than the people there. It's kind of shitty. You know, I sit there and I'm like, man, look at this fucker, this poor motherfucker. One thing I hate's a poor person now that I'm rich. As you can tell. Look at this poor guy walking up there, no money having ass. And then the person I meet with usually goes, hey Dante, you got a little ranch in your hair. I'm like, oh shit. Sorry, that would have been awkward. Imagine if I go over there with a ranch in my hair. I don't look like one of these sad sacks of shit. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go pick the olives out of that pudding that someone dropped in and make me a bowl. Of course, it's banana pudding, but the sign just says Nanner. N-A-N-N-E-R, Nanner pudding. Just like banana pudding, except for slightly more racist.
Whoa.
I know, it's crazy. Johnny's Good Eating Buffet, known for our world famous Nanner pudding, and for being the last restaurant in the United States to desegregate. But listen, I don't fucking agree with Johnny. I just go for the food. That shit's good. They have their meetings. They're in another room. I usually ignore those people. But take your birth control. But I normally ignore those people. Unless my car's broken down, I need a tire change. Me and my buddy Slade, we went to Golden Corral recently. I like Golden Corral again, as you can tell. Yeah. We like Golden Corral. We went to Golden Corral. Normally, there's a lot of people at Golden Corral, right? Normally, it's packed full, but this time there weren't a lot of people. So we were feeling pretty good about it. We were thinking we're going to get in, get our food, and get out. And we go in there, there's not a lot of people, we're feeling good, and then this lady comes in. She's an older lady, I'd say about 65-ish. She comes in on a scooter, one of those little red scooters. That's the scooter. She comes in and she tricks us. See, when she scoots in real slow. And we're thinking, oh, she's not a threat. Because when you go to buffets, there's always a threat, right? There's people that you think, all right, this guy likes the same thing I like. This girl's pretty quick. She's sitting right there by the bar. So they're going to get out with good food when it comes out. But this lady we didn't think was a threat. Well, she fucking tricked us. Because as soon as the waitress told her, hey, here's your drink. The buffet is open. Help yourself. She fucking shifted that bitch into high gear. She shifted it into go. I'm pretty sure she had NOS. I don't know. That motherfucker could go. And she didn't give a shit if you was in front of her. She didn't give a shit where you were in line. She would hit your ass and run you the fuck over. Just like Tony Stewart, baby. So she was going there, and she was speeding, and we were trying to fucking get out of her way. And she pissed me off. So what I started doing was I started moving the tables a little bit closer. I watched her path. She was going on her path, and I would push the tables an inch every time she went past. inch, every inch matters. And I pushed them together, closer and closer, until finally they were about 4 inches apart, which is a lot of inches. Just saying. No, she was a very big girl. It was way more than 4 inches. She was very wide, if you know what I mean. And she got stuck in the 2 tables. She was pissed her and shit. So we were like, everybody just run up there, get your food real quick. That was a sacrifice that we made for the other people. Her chair had a little sticker on it, a little decal. She was moving so fast going to the food, I couldn't read it. But now that I had her stuck in place, like a mouse on one of those traps, like a big fatty mouse, I read the sticker. It said grease lightning. This bitch had grease lightning on her scooter. She looked more like Greasy Thunder, you know what I mean? Rest in peace, Olivia Newton-John. She was practicing Olivia Newton's law. Because a chair in rest stays in rest. She was pissed her and shit, I'm telling you. She looked at me, we made eye contact, and she fucking let me have it. Her intimidation tactics involved getting bigger, which I was like, you probably should not do that. I was like, look, I'm going to let you free, but you got to promise not to attack me on that scooter. She put skid marks on the floor. And she promised not to attack me. So I let her go after we finished eating, and I said, look, you can go up there and eat all the not vegetables you want to eat now. The not vegetables. You want to know where I feel the most full of myself at? It's probably my local Chinese restaurant.
Yes!
One chain.
They know everything about me to a T. They know exactly what I drink. They know where I like to sit. They know what I get on my plate and how much of it I put on there. Oh yeah, watching me. They know my social security card, which has never been a problem. They were the first ones to know when my girlfriend cheated on me, which honestly was just because she did it in their parking lot, real classy. White trash Jesus, baby.
They learn hard.
No clue what that means, but okay. No, that is not Mac's girlfriend. They wait on me hand and foot, and I like to take my first dates there. I like to take my first dates there every time I go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like, hey, you ever going to King, baby? Watch this shit. I go in there, they serve me real good. They serve me well. And as soon as they walk away, I say, hey, did you see that shit? It's pretty impressive, right? And she always has the same response. You're white trash, aren't you? I'm like, yep. Yes, I am. So that's how my love life is going. If anyone was wondering. Growing up, me and my brother used to go deer hunting. But we could only afford one weapon as a family. We could only afford a bow and one arrow. Just one. So you better not fucking miss. I used to get pissed in hell when we'd miss. He would miss a shot, and I'm like, damn it, Austin. Now, if you don't find that motherfucking arrow, we can't hunt for at least a month. We're 6 months from Christmas. We're not getting a new one anytime soon. But he had that. He had the bow and the arrow, and I had a bag of rocks. And it wasn't any bag of rocks. It was an empty Crown Royal bag. My parents brought it to me, and they said, look, you can even put your own rocks in it. And I was like, oh, thanks, Mom. Everyone wonders why I'm an alcoholic now. But I remember one time I asked my mom, I said, Mom, do you really think this is going to kill a deer, this bag of rocks? And my mom looked me dead in my eyes, and she was super serious, and she said, if those rocks can kill Goliath, those rocks can kill a deer. To which I responded, Mom, David had to kill Goliaths to free the Israelites from slavery. I'm trying to impress chicks in class. I don't think God's willing this one the same way. P.S. Mom, I don't think David had his rocks in a Crown Royal bag. It's just me. Y'all didn't know I had that Bible knowledge, did you? Yeah. I used to be a preacher. Give me 1 second. I just got to drink juice. My throat's a little dry.
Better than the last time.
Yes.
I like the chase guy.
I don't know who my stagehand was. He was supposed to have that ready for me. He's fired.
Come on, Hunter.
Look at the camera.
It pays pretty good. Yeah, it pays a percentage of every door, so not really good. Yeah, I used to be a preacher. You see how the fuck that went? Doing something completely different now. Growing up, we used to go to the racetrack. Yeah, we used to go to that old dirt track, baby. Yeah.
T1, baby!
We enjoyed it. My family did it for years. It was like a tradition that we had for years. And we had like grandparents race, worked on cars, aunts, uncles, cousins, you know, the whole 9 yards, white trash shit. We had a good time. The problem when you grow up in a small town like we did, and you have your favorite drivers, there are other people in this small town who have their favorite drivers. And a lot of times they clash because they're getting drunk and they're getting high motor vehicles and they're going as fast as they can in a circle. Sometimes wrecks happen, trying to be the best. And we used to get pissed. We would literally go to school and we would fight the other kids. If you've ever found yourself going, fuck you, Timmy. Bobo's 10 times the driver Randy will ever be. I promise you that, son of a bitch. If you've ever said that sentence, you're probably white trash. Hate to break it to you. Now, those last two things I just told you. I used to be a preacher, and I used to get in fights. Those were not different timelines. Those did not happen at different points in my life. Those are the same points, same timeline, same day, and a lot of times the same moment. So, I want you to imagine. Fuck it, I'll explain it better. It went a little something like this. Yeah, brother, I'll pray with you. You kneel here, brother. I'll pray with you. Shh, sit right here. I'll pray with you. Hey, Tammy, you see that shit this weekend? Shh, stay right there. You see that shit this weekend? After, catch me. I'll be outside. Stay right here, brother. Be quiet. Sit down here. God bless you. God bless you. Hey, buddy. Fuck you, buddy. Yeah, y'all go ahead. Let me back out of the way. I'd hate to interrupt that. Let me pray with you here, buddy. Dear Father, you be with this poor man. His driver lost this weekend. It's not his fault. It's not his fault. He's a good man. His driver's a good man. It's just not a good driver. Fuck you. He's not a good driver. He's doing his best. Yeah, fuck you. He's doing the best he can out here. He's fighting hard. He's racing hard. He's a good man. He reads his Bible. He eats his vitamins. You just touch him, Lord. You keep your hands on him and you be with him. Amen. Go on, brother. Peace be with you. Peace be with you, brother. The bread and the wine's outside, brother. I have to repent for that joke later. I grew up in a Free Will Baptist church, and we pretty much had to repent for everything. If you take a little shot of liquor, go on ahead and repent. You watch a little porn, go on ahead and repent. You wore shorts to church on Sunday morning, go on ahead and repent. They were hardcore, they didn't play around. I'll be honest with you though, if they heard my set tonight, if they heard my material tonight, they'd probably want to go to 10 straight revivals. What's a revival, Dante? I'm glad you asked.
Church on a Monday!
Basically. Wait a second, hold on. Something didn't add up here.
That was your sister.
What kind of church are we going to? That's my favorite kind of church. That's the wine church, baby. Revival is basically this. They bring in a gospel band, and this gospel band comes in, and they play beautiful music. It sounds wonderful. It makes you feel good. They're making a joyful noise unto the Lord, making you feel happy. And then this random preacher, who you don't know, you never met, he's hired in from another church. He shows up, and he basically just yells at you for about a 30-minute to hour-long period, and tells you about this wonderful little place called hell. And I'm 8 years old, and I'm sitting there, and I'm listening to it. And it goes something along the lines of, if you don't stop getting boners in class, you and everyone you love's going. And it's eternal. Thanks, preacher. I won't have a hard time sleeping tonight. I won't be terrified. What was worse, though, is if you had to go for a Sunday morning service, right? And you got to go eat dinner with the guy after. It's a random preacher. He's sitting directly in front of you, and you're shaking, you're scared. He just told you about hell for the first time in your 8-year-old life. And he can see the fear on you. He smells it. He likes it. He says, hey, buddy, what's wrong with you? He's like, I don't know. I don't want to go to hell. He pretty much told me for 45 minutes, I think you said my name 3 times in the service. He goes, no, you're okay. God likes kids. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm going to grow up eventually. And I think then I should probably start worrying about it, right? He's like, yeah. Anyways, buddy, I'm like, well, are you a different person down here? He uses it to his advantage. He tells me, he says, listen, the Lord loves a cheerful giver. And you've had 2 biscuits and I've only had 3. So I think you should give me that last one. I'm like, I don't think the math adds up there, preacher. He's like, shh. The Lord loves a cheerful giver. And I pass that over and I'm shaking. So I go something like this. Do you want more butter? The main difference between a preacher and a comedian is basically the message, right? Preachers, they tell you one message. Comedians tell you another message. Comedians try to make you laugh. Preachers try to make you cry. Sometimes they do a pretty good job. I think the main difference outside of the message, though, is that preachers take up a love offering after all of their services. If they get booked for an event, they take up a love offering, right? And everybody, if they like the message, if they like the sermon, they put money in this bucket. It's non-taxable. Pretty nice little gift for the preacher. And comedians don't typically do that. Until tonight. Yeah. Give me the bucket, ladies and gentlemen. Pass it around. No, I'm just kidding. I saw some of you grabbing at your wallets. You were getting tight. You're like, I mean, he's funny. He's not that fucking funny. A lot of these preachers, though, they had websites. They would talk about where they were going next, their next event, their next sermon, where they were going. They had merch. They had T-shirts. They had CDs, DVDs. They set up a little merch table. Just like comedians do, you know? The preachers, they get booked at these churches just like comedians get booked for clubs. Unless you're a bad comedian, then you book yourself. Am I right? It's because I booked my fucking...
Red bar is watching.
I have no clue who the fuck that is. I don't know if that's like a creepy Santa reference. I'm very uncomfortable. I hope someone walks me to my car after.
I got you.
Thank you, love. Do you want to know the most fucked up and emotionally scarring thing I ever did to my sister?
Oh, man.
Growing up, my sister had this group of friends that she did everything with. They hung out together all the time. They were the closest friends. They were inseparable. And I gave them a nickname. That nickname was the BGM. And the BGM stood for Big Girl Mafia. If you were wondering, they were fat little fuckers. I'm talking chunky. You know what I mean? Them thunder thighs, baby. How you got a beer gut? You're only 14 years old. I don't know. It was so bad. There was one of them that literally would run.
Skinny friends now.
Okay. All right. That's enough alcohol forever. It was so bad to the point where there was one of them that literally she would run to lunch every day at school, and she brought her own lunch. So, what are you running for? I'm trying to work the calories off. I'm like, go ahead. You work off that full-size, extra-large pizza, baby. You got it. They did everything together. We went swimming with them one time at my grandma's pool. My mom ordered pizza, and she was like, hey, Dante, the pizza guy's here in this little pizza cart. He was like, tell the girls to start drying off. When I get back, I'll pay them. When I get back, we'll give them the pizza. I said, okay, Mom. So I'm in the pool. They're in the pool. I'm in the deep end. They're in what was the light end. Light, heavy, fuck it. So I turn around to yell, hey, girls, the pizza. Oh, shit. These girls are on top of the water, full sprint. They're already dry somehow. I don't know how this works. They're on top of the water. They're running. They're like Jesus in a fucking foot race. And I'm just in their path, apparently. And I'm like, no, slow motion, no. And then I get fucking trampled, and this is what it sounds like. No! That's me going underwater because they stepped on my fucking head. So I'm drowning down here. I try to jump up. I try to warn my mom. It's too fucking late. I turn around like, Mom! Oh, shit. And when you're that fucking... When you're that fucking big, I guess the brakes on your body don't work right. They couldn't stop. They smashed directly into the fucking pizza car. It was a BMW. That's a flat MW. They ate all the pizza. It was too late for me and my mother. We were pretty hungry for the rest of the day. The only reason I included that story has nothing to do with the show, has nothing to do with anything I've talked about. The only reason I included it was because I think that's the funniest thing I've ever said. And I wrote that bit at 9 years old. That's pretty fucking impressive. I was like, you're going to go far, kid. One day you're going to be in a bowling alley in Lancaster. And you're going to get 10 laughs on this joke. And I'm like, thanks. Thanks, me. Oh, you got to take your medication? Okay. It's all right. It'll clear up soon, buddy. I was a little asshole kid, man. I really was. I was a little shit talker. And I wasn't shit talking to be mean. I just thought it was funny. They left you all alone. Yeah. It's pretty awkward, isn't it? You still don't know I'm talking to you, do you? Life would be better if you had better friends, wouldn't it? Now you're sitting by yourself and the guy called you out. That's awkward. Man. I fucking hate to be you right now. No, I'm just kidding. She's lovely. Oh, I'm sorry. I was a mean little kid. I didn't mean to be. I just thought I was being funny. I kind of did a reverse now. I'm pretty non-confrontational. I've kind of turned into like a meta pussy. I avoid confrontation at all costs. I try to be nice, try to make people laugh, and it puts me in a weird predicament. It puts me in a predicament now where my friends want to tell me like, or they want to test me. They want to see what my limits are. Hey Dante, you know what would you do if someone came in here, knocked your food out of your hand, and called you a bitch? I'm like, I don't know. I'd be hungry. I know that. I don't know what my next course of action is. But, hey Dante, what would you do if somebody came in here right now, spit on you, called you a bitch, and said die slow? I'm like, I don't know. I would be confused why that person has that much hate for me in their life. And those are kind of normal, but you get those and you get the weirder ones, right? I had a guy one time, one of my buddies, we were leaving the gym, it was just me and him. It was an empty gym parking lot. No names, please. Thank you, ma'am. We were leaving the gym parking lot, and he said, he said, hey, man, what would you do if this big buff motherfucker came out here right now, put a gun to the back of your head, and said, bend over the hood of your car, I'm about to butt fuck you? And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, no, just out of curiosity. I'm like, are you thinking of doing something? He's like, no, just out of curiosity. What would you do? And I'm like, I guess I'm getting fucked. He's got a gun, man. I'm not a fucking ninja. I'm not gonna fucking reverse that shit on him. I don't keep the reverse Uno card on me. I don't know what the hell I would do. So I thought about it. I spent some time thinking about it, and I think what I decided I would do is a pretty simple solution. I would shave my head bald. I would trim my beard. I would go to a comedy show and get on my phone in the front row just to draw attention to myself. I would gain weight, more weight. I would move to South Dakota. I would join a boy band called the BGM, the Big Guys Music. Changed my life, that question. I think about it every time I'm leaving the gym now. The other night I was leaving the gym and I was walking to my car, I parked near a bush. Did someone say, oh, old fart. I thought he said don't fart. I was like, too late. No, I'm just kidding. I was walking in my car, and there was a bush by my car. I parked near a bush for some reason. I've always been attracted to a bush. You get it. Or maybe not, I don't know. I was attracted to a bush, so I parked by this bush and I seen human eyes in this bush. And they were looking at me, they were eyes, they belonged to a human. And I got scared, I panicked, I ran straight to the truck. He was beside the truck. In hindsight, I don't know if this was the best idea, but I opened up my passenger side door. And I'm looking, I'm frantically looking, I'm scared, my heart rate's up, I'm terrified. And I'm looking, and I finally see something in the floorboard. I see Old Reliable. Yeah, Old Reliable. I reach down, and I look up at him, and say, you're fucked now, buddy. I say, listen to me, and you listen to me good, sir. If these rocks could kill Goliath. He can kill you too. And I step back and I start fucking. You know what I mean? I just underhand to kind of throw him off his game. And I fucking hit him in the face so many times. I was cutting up his nose. I was rock, paper, scissoring that ass. And then I realized he was a homeless man. He was no harm. He was not a threat. And that bush is where he lives because it's warm. I immediately felt bad. I didn't know what to say. So I took a step back and I said, "Dear God, please forgive me. I failed you again." And I told that homeless man to go have a good rest of his evening. Before we leave, I'm almost finished. Before we leave, I just want to say one thing. I want everyone tonight to drive carefully leaving. Please go straight home. Do not go out and drink and drive. A lot of people get pretty upset about drinking and driving. I don't get it. I mean, we already let women drive, right? It can't get worse. Listen, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying if I'm at a party and my DD is drunk and he looks at me and he goes, "Hey, you want to keep drinking?" "Oh yeah, sure, buddy. Let's just keep doing it." That was my only ride home. I would still trust him more than my younger sister. And I know what you're thinking. "Chase, what do you love? Men." And I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. You're probably going, "Dante, that's sexist." Anyways, it's been a great night, guys. Thank you for coming out. I love you all.
Encore.
No, that's it.
No, more.
Where's the last show?
Yeah, I don't want the last show, but I want this one.
Dante.